In Movies and Money, Memorial Weekend was a rough one for film studios and theaters. Our film critic Erik Childress is on the scene for us. Erik, it turned out to be the worst Memorial holiday weekend at the box office in decades. Should film studios be fearful, or is this just a blip?
Well, call me a cynic or an optimist, but we probably won't be hearing much fear of Inside Out 2 as the biggest opening of the year in a few weeks, nor when Deadpool and Wolverine just owns theaters at the end of the summer.
Only a limited number of films will be on the big screen this week, including this one, Young Woman and the Sea. Take a look.
How far is it across?
It's 21 miles across.
Currents changing every few hours. Freezing water. The hardest test in all of sport.
You think I could do it? Do you think I can?
Erik, are we still feeling the effects of last year's actors and writers strikes with that limited number of films debuting?
In some cases, that is a direct result of last year's strikes, with certain projects being put on hold and leaving the summer less crowded than it usually is. Yet this weekend is one of the few that holds no sequels, prequels, or franchise entries. Disney is releasing Young Woman and the Sea, with Daisy Ridley starring as Gertrude Durrell, the first woman to swim across the English Channel. And this comes less than a year after Netflix brought us Naiad with Annette Bening and Jodie Foster. A Roadside is rolling out Summer Camp with Kathy Bates and Diane Keaton, despite Book Club: The Next Chapter not bringing back audiences from the first movie last May. And that's about it for theaters, and neither film is expected to be wide enough to make much of a dent in the top 10 either. But this will also give people who may have just been out on holiday or enjoying the weather last weekend another chance to catch up with those openings. If the films hold in the 30 to 40% range, the industry might take a breath. If they drop more than 50%, as Memorial Day releases tend to, because they usually open much higher, everyone is going to be hilariously counting on Will Smith to save movies next week.
You have a recommendation for us this week that could not be more timely. It's a film all about the infamous Movie Pass debacle that we talked about on the show.
Exactly, Angie. It's called Movie Pass Movie Crash, and it is playing right now on Max for everyone staying at home again. It tells the story of the startup app that for a monthly subscription would once allow you to see movies all month. Now, personally, I never had a Movie Pass, despite how much it could benefit me, since the entire model seemed very impractical and shaky from the start, at least for the company itself, and those suspicions are certainly confirmed as we see how a couple of rich fat cats muscled out the two African-American founders of the company and basically drove it into the ground even quicker than the unsustainable model could have even imagined. The documentary itself is not groundbreaking, but lays out the facts cleanly until we're left with another awful tale of businessmen and con artists out to screw the consumers to further their own wealth and status. Then when you are done with that, I implore you to go to your local theater and go see Furiosa. George Miller has created another epic experience that you owe it to yourself to see on the biggest screen possible. It is worth the ticket cost and a big bucket of popcorn.
Thanks for telling us about that one, Erik.
Thank you, Angie.
Go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.